Hello, superhero friends, and welcome to the Neurolinguistic Astrology Salon. Happy Magic Monday. And we are going to finally be doing Batgirl's birth chart, as well as a look into Yvonne Craig, which is the actress who played Batgirl on the 60s TV show that I actually watched when I was young growing up. I had a big crush on that version of Robin, Dick Grayson. So we're going to look a little bit at that old show, some clips from that. That's going to all come up as well as we deep dive into this. So let me just make sure that my levels test are all coming through. Looks like we're okay. Oh, 1 second. Okay, no desktop audio. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm Rachel Z. I am a neurolinguistic astrologer. What does that mean? It is a blend of two practices, one being the ancient practice of astrology, which is looking at the cosmos and the stars to kind of mark where we are in time space in the story of the game of life. And then also neurolinguistic programming, which is NLP for short, not to be confused with natural language processing. Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful, which has to do with computer languaging. But ultimately, if we think about language as a technology and words or spells and how we encode certain behaviors and personalities and character tropes and all of that good stuff within and our inner world and how that is reflected in our external world, that's where I blend those two practices together as we look at the cosmos, like your birth chart, as well as what's happening in the sky right now, to derive meaning behind what's going on in your life. Certain things sometimes can seem so menial, but later on, upon reflection, you realize it was a clue to a bigger part of the picture of you. So I am also aware that, birth charts, and I've also done on this channel, I call this the Neurolinguistic Astrology Salon because I like to look at characters, even fictional characters. In this case, we're going to do a blend of the two because we're going to be looking at Batgirl. I'm going to just see if you can. Dun, 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 Batman. Also, I did Prince's chart, and he did the soundtrack for the first Batman. And so there's something to be said about the Bat family. My hubby, who I have cosplayed him as Nightwing, and Batgirl have an actual sweet relationship, and this is primarily why I was also jealous of Batgirl growing up. I was like, oh, she's so pretty and wonderful and all of this stuff. So we're going to go into a history of Batgirl, the character, and just to loop this back around as to the point of this show, it's a way of demonstrating my lens on what neurolinguistic astrology is in action, because I do think of all of us on this earth, on this planet, we're all on a world stage, right? And it's a matter of revealing to yourself what character it is that you are meant to play on in this incarnation, in this lifetime right now. And the best place to look for guidance, in my opinion, is the stars, because, whether or not you believe the moon is what they say it is, it's still up there and we can observe it, and we know that it's a full moon. Or, for example, we have something called Lionsgate coming up, and so you could think of that even like calendar wise, August 8th, even though August, the 8th month, is not named Octo. That would make a little bit more sense, but that's beyond the point. The calendar itself and how it looks at time is flawed. However, there are certain things that map up with both the calendar and the cosmos and the stars. So, like, as we look at astrology, and how I look at astrology is not necessarily as a way to be fatalistic about things, but it's more about to reveal certain things in the story, and you can, it's like reading a book, and certain stories, there's certain arcs that you can anticipate, and you're like, oh, I feel like that's going to happen. But then there's also like twists and turns and stuff, right? So I look at astrology as a way of like, realizing where you are in the story. Like, are you in the climax? Are you at the part where you're still trying to gather all your friends together before you go on your great quest? It's kind of a way of looking at that. Or like if something's happening in your life where like you're switching jobs, or you're feeling the need to move into a new location, oftentimes there are things in your chart, your birth chart, your natal chart, and the stars right now as they are mapped against each other. We call those like transits. So for example, Pluto is doing its thing, being Pluto in Aquarius, right? So this whole idea of Pluto being representative of sex, death, change, rebirth, regeneration, just like the gestation period before you like come into form. So there's a lot about that. There's also like 12th house stuff, 8th house stuff, occult stuff, dark stuff, which is, if you think about Batman, I always thought of Batman being a Scorpio, but his birthday is actually April 30th. And so that's a great way to segue into the presentation. So I am going to do a little look at Batgirl because there's great power in your chart. And I did a talk, my latest Today's Harmonics episode with my friend Aria, which I will be posting on, you can get that live on Rumble right now. I think it's in my link tree if you follow me on any of my socials, but I'm going to be I'll be posting that latest episode onto our Spotify. So I'll leave links to all of that kind of stuff as it comes to these types of shows in the notes. But I just wanted to say, in terms of planetary rulers, that's what we kind of went over. And we shared a lot of stuff about our own personal charts. But ultimately, you do have to be careful. I mean, it's hard too when you're a public figure to like keep that stuff hidden, right? But there's a lot of power in knowing a chart. There's a lot to be mapped in terms of the archetypes that this individual is playing out. So in terms of Yvonne Craig, I was doing some prep work ahead of this conversation with you guys. And I was like, oh my gosh, she was a ballerina. She was a dancer before she became an actress. And she was in Batgirl. She also did a movie with Elvis. So I'm going to play this. All my stuff gets taken down for copyright anyway, so I don't even care anymore. So 1 second. Oh wait, I made that too small. Here we go. Let's play it. Okay, so I'm just gonna like pause here and I'll read this as opposed to taking over you can watch Dave Sudsorum. He's basically saying his memories of Yvonne Craig. And so Yvonne Craig makes her starring debut as Batgirl, joining Batman and Robin in their never-ending war against evildoers in ABC TV's Batman series, premiering its new season in color on Thursday, September 14th. I forget what year this was, but it was in the 60s, right? So we'll take a look at those charts very soon. But first of all, let's look at Batgirl herself as a character, because when I was looking her up in the DC lore, there's other Batgirls besides my favorite and the one that I am going to be cosplaying as later for the comic book read, which features... Okay, so oh my gosh, I lost that. Hold on, let's go into here. I'm just going to go into one Batgirl. Here we go. So there are a few Batgirls, and so I'm just going to give you guys a bit of an overview first, and then we will go into some fun clips of Batgirl in the 60s, which I love. Yeah. Including her Bat Cycle, which I have a fun story about that, and Yvonne Craig, and how, real life or different mediums of the rendition of the character influence each other, right? Okay, so Batgirl is one of Batman's sidekicks. Sidekick. Okay, sure, fine. Batgirl is one of Batman's sidekicks and a member of the Batman family, similar to Robin. There have been several women to take the position over the years. The original Batgirl during the Silver Age was Betty Kane, or Bet Kane. I wonder how you would say that, Bet Kane. I have her pulled up as well, too, because she's original. She's like the first, right? So ultimately, if we're going to be like super strict about it, Mary Elizabeth, also Bet, like Bet, I guess it's Bet. So Mary Beth Kane is a non-powered super sorry, saying that 5 times. Is a non-powered superhero vigilante. Oh yeah, and a member of the Batman family, the original Batgirl. What's the difference between this Batgirl? Oh, okay, I think it takes you to the same place. Okay, good. I have a cool picture that I'll probably share in my follow-up post about this, which has like, it's like the Batgirls. They're like a whole crew of all the girls who are like Batgirls. So that will be a fun thing that I think I'm going to try to pull off. Ladies, if you want to be a Batgirl, let me know. Okay, Batgirl is one of the Batman sidekicks and a member of the Batman family, similar to Robin. There have been several women to take the position over the years. The original Batgirl during the Silver Age was Bet Kane. This was later removed from continuity. Oh, they removed it. This is probably Crisis. Crisis did a lot of, refiguring of things. And the character was reintroduced under the alias Flamebird. And remember, Flamebird is the counterpart to Nightwing. The most recognized Batgirl is Barbara Gordon, daughter of Commissioner Gordon and the original in modern continuity. She was Batgirl for many years until the Joker shot her through the spine during the events of the Killing Joke and paralyzed her. Barbara still fought crime from her wheelchair as Oracle, an international super hacker and invaluable computers expert for heroes everywhere. And so there are also, after this, the events of this, and even after Oracle, I'm going to open Oracle as well because Oracle is pretty badass. Yes. She's also a member of the Birds of Prey. She's actually like she's like their boss. She's like the head bird of prey, right? I wish they did that more live action. Like Harley Quinn has actually, she makes a, okay, I'm not going to get into that whole side tangent about it. Let's keep going with the different Batgirls. So that takes care of Barbara Gordon, and then we're going to go into a more deep dive of Barbara Gordon herself. I'm going to see if we can find her birthday, but if we can't, we're going to go into Yvonne Craig's birthday and even her death day, because there's power to be had. There is not power to be had. That's the wrong way of looking at it, but there is understanding into when a being left the realm as well, right? Because when you came in, the cosmos had a certain sky story, and when you leave, there is another story as well for those of us who are left in this dimension, before we go on to the next. But Cassandra Cain, daughter of the assassin David Cain, I don't know who that is. Okay, you seem cool-ish. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to go on a tangent of that. Cassandra Cain was one, and I know that she was in one of my comic books that I read with Oracle, and I remember she was teasing her for having a really purple outfit. When to talk, Babs. Became the next Batgirl while seeking redemption for her father's crimes. Okay. She was eventually manipulated into going rogue by Deathstroke and gave up the cowl after she recovered from the mental breakdown. The teleporter misfit briefly called herself Batgirl when she started her vigilante career on the streets, although she changed her name after she was taken in by the Birds of Prey. Stephanie Brown, I remember Stephanie Brown, originally known as Spoiler and a former Robin, became Batgirl after the apparent death of Batman. Gordon has since returned to the position in the DCNU following a recovery. Yes. Because she ends up getting her legs back. So I have comic books where she, even after the events of the Killing Joke, she has a surgery or some sort of treatment, or she's able to get her legs back and she takes back Batgirl. But then she has like this thing with her brother and like this villain, and like it's like the stress of that causes her to lose her legs again, and she has to make a choice. But I will figure out that whole story arc in terms of the comic books I have with Batgirl, and we can do a deep dive of that. But for now, let's see here. Batgirl was created as Betty Kane by Bill Finger and Sheldon Moldoff, and she appeared in Batman 139, 1961. So that was the first time Batgirl herself was ever, you know, it's funny. The Silver Age, Adam. Oh yeah, Adam and Hawkman. Okay. So 1961. Let's put a little tag on that, friends, and then let's see here. Barbara Gordon first appeared in 1967, and then let's go into her. They tell us what her birthday is. Okay. Batgirl, Amy Bade. What the heck? What is that? Okay, that just takes me to the same page. Okay, main alias, Oracle, other aliases, Batgirl, Roger Gordon, deceased, yeah. Thelma Gordon, deceased, James Gordon. Okay. Did they change this a bit? I thought James Gordon was her dad. Okay, well anyways, this might be, oh, Dick Grayson, husband. See? Look at this. They get married. I'm going to show my hubby this. I'm not going to get into that too much. I'm trying to see if they have a hair red, 126 pounds. They're very specific about these other characteristics. But does she have a birthday? I'm going to bring that out here. And, does Batgirl, what is Batgirl's birthday? I don't know if I'll be able to find it, you guys. I'm going to see. So, I'm going to bring that back on here. Okay. So Batgirl, Barbara Gordon redefined what it meant to be a self-made hero when she crafted her own costume and joined Batman's crusade right under her father's nose. Like I remember this in the show, right? She was pretty cool. I mean, I grew to like her, right? And she also has like, oh my gosh, I'm going to show you guys the video clip after this. But there's a fun little interplay between how the comic books were influenced by the 60s TV show because of things like the Batgirl cycle, the Bat cycle, and but what I wanted to really say about Batgirl is that she was cool because she was kind of like on her own, you know. No one knew her identity, not even her father. So when she appeared on the show, even she even had like the wig, right? So like she was like she was the commissioner's daughter, but Robin, Batman, they didn't know who Batgirl was. She just like showed up and like was starting to help out. They're like, oh, okay. So the mean streets of Gotham City have a number of guardian angels watching over them, and one of the first, the young woman who turned the dynamic duo into the Batman family. That's true. So they were the dynamic duo, and then Batgirl made them a family. The young woman who turned the dynamic duo into the Batman family was Batgirl. Barbara Gordon has always existed between two worlds, her life at home as the only daughter of Police Commissioner James Gordon, and her life swinging from gargoyles as an associate of the Dark Knight and a founding member of the Birds of Prey. Although the two halves of her life do not always mesh, she stays true to the things that she believes in. A genius-level hacker and information broker, an expert martial artist, Babs has, like her namesake, proven to be a fierce survivor and one of Gotham's most cherished protectors. Oh, I love this way of like how they explained her. Oh, but I don't think they give. Her first appearance is 1961, and so we don't really know her birthday. So we'll leave that open. I'll leave that open to a question to you guys, my friends. Because I know, like, Batman, any of the other superhero characters I've done on this show, I've been able to find, like, they'll mention their birthdays in a comic book, and it'll be like canon then, and then I basically look at the year of their first appearance as their, like, birth year, right? But let's instead jump to here. Yes, this is a fun little evolution of Batgirl from TV and films. But this, oh, I love this. I want to. Zap. Oh my gosh, do you see how short his shorts are? I always make his costume. It's just, let's see what else. Oh man. You know what? So Alicia Silverstone's version of Batgirl, let me just quickly, is that even, like, considered anything? Okay. Alicia Silverstone Batgirl. She looked good in that though. It was 1996. Barbara Wilson. They gave her the name Barbara. Is that anything though? Let's see. Barbara Wilson Batgirl. Burtonverse. That's really funny. Doesn't make any sense. Let's see here. Barbara Wilson, I'm going to put this over here so you guys can see before I go into Yvonne Craig, because I don't know, I feel like there is a Batgirl movie coming out, I think, and I heard Jenna Ortega is playing Batgirl. I don't know in what context or what storyline or which, because there's many Batgirls now that I know that it could be any. Are you Cassandra Cain? Are you Stephanie Brown? Are you Barbara Gordon? Are you this chick? That's okay. Her outfit's okay. But, like, look, they've got, like, the nipples going on. Okay, Barbara Wilson is the niece of Alfred Pennyworth. When she joined her uncle, she became Batgirl. So, let's see here. Gotham City, yeah, Universe, Burtonverse. What are you calling this? Okay, so it's the movies. I didn't know that was what they considered it. But Tim Burton didn't do Batman and Robin, did he? Okay, let's see your films. Okay, Batman and Robin. Yeah. Well, I guess they consider it part of an anthology. Me and my sister talk about how we actually like this movie, and I had such a big crush on this Robin. Oh my gosh, it was, like, not even crazy. But yeah, this Batgirl wasn't really Barbara Gordon, right? So we don't have to worry about that. So let's go back here. Let me see if there's more. Well, Batwoman is not the same as Batgirl, and I don't know, like, I think some people were commenting that, being like, Batwoman's not the same. She shouldn't be included in. She's part of the Bat family, but she's not like part of the Batgirls, except for the DC bombshells, which I think have to do with them. Oh. What? What? Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oracle. Yeah, so that's the Oracle mask in there. Yeah, because of what happened in the Killing Joke. I didn't realize that Batgirl and Batman had like a. Oof. It was like hot. Okay. You go, Babs. Okay. Is this happening? Okay. Well, that was pretty cool. But I'm still all about let's finish off this conversation with our friend Yvonne Craig. Look at this. So I didn't know this until looking into it, but she was a dancer. She was a ballet dancer, right? So I'm just going to use a little bit of some background into her. So I've been really into like really old shows lately. You know, as you guys know, I've been obsessed with Space 1999. Wait for the watch parties. Okay. Yvonne Joyce Craig. Joy, I love that. Was an American actress who was renowned for her role as Barbara Gordon, right? Batgirl in the 1960s television series Batman. I'm sure you guys all know that. If you don't, it's the 60s show. There, yes. Other notable roles in her career include Dorothy Johnson in the 1963 movie If It Happened at the World's Fair. Okay, nice. And then Azealia Tatum in the movie Kissin' Cousins, and as the green-skinned Orion, Marta in the Star Trek episode Whom Gods Destroy. Ooh, okay. She is cute though. Like, I mean, as I was saying before, it's like from ballet to the Batcave and beyond. Let's go into her chart and then we can talk a little bit more about how her story and how she took on the role of Batgirl influenced the character of Barbara Gordon. So let's create chart. Let's do Yvonne Craig. Oh my gosh. Way to spell, Rachel. Okay, here. And then I was born in, oh wait, let's see. When? Taylorville, Illinois. was more than one Taylorville. My date of birth is May 16th, 1937. You might be a Taurus, my friend. So May 16th? Is that what that said? I just totally forgot. Freaking. Okay, 16th, 1937. 16th, 1937. And I don't know if we know the time. Let me see if I can just... Maybe people have already done her chart already. Oh, of course. Good. Excellent. It already exists. So, Yvonne Craig, an American ballet dancer and actress best known for her role in Batgirl. Now, oh yeah. Oh. She's a Taurus. I'm a Taurus too, so I just, love. Her moon's in Leo, though. So that's like some things to note about how your Leo can really influence the flavor of what your sun's going to be doing. So, yeah, she's a Leo. And so this idea of taking the stage, showmanship, we're in Leo season right now. So, the spotlight, she was able to really commend that character, really take Batgirl to another level. Mercury is in Taurus. Wow. So both her sun and Mercury are in the same sign. So look at all this stuff happening in Taurus. Oh, I love that. Okay, so Mercury is the planet of communication, intellect, memory, magic, all of those fun things. So even when I think about neurolinguistic programming itself, the idea of words being a technology, as you speak, abracadabra, I speak as I create as I speak. So this idea of having your sun and Mercury here is that your communication is going to be empowered by your sun, your soul force, what powers you. I don't know if I put in her time of birth, so I don't have an ascending on here for now. I don't think that. Oh yeah, I pulled this chart from someone else. Like, this is a calculator that is much more simplistic than the AstroSeek calculator that I would use if you were to get a reading from me. But it's nice to do an overall picture of what this kind of looks like. So Yvonne Craig, Venus is in Aries. Me too. Oh, this is so weird for me. Because, it's fun when you look at other charts, you're like, wow, there are things that we have in common, and then you realize how, like, why when you meet certain people, why you connect in certain ways, because your characters, there's certain things in your character types that are similar or rhyme or bounce off each other really well energetically. Mars is in Scorpio. That's very intense here. This is a very intense degree of Mars to be in. Jupiter is in Capricorn. Saturn is in Aries. Uranus is in Taurus. Neptune in Virgo. Pluto's in Cancer. North Node in Sagittarius. Chiron in Gemini. Me too for this. So finding healing through communication and speaking your truth, right? So that's a big part of it's funny how in acting, you're playing on other characters, and in the last comic book reading of Batgirl, she was like in her own mind, and she had to get herself out of the dream by breaking her own loops that she's formed for herself, and then also realizing the difference between Barbara Gordon and Batgirl, and the mantle of Batgirl, and carrying that, and where like that ends and Barbara begins, right? I remember that scene in, I think, Batman, one of Nolan's films, where it's like, oh, like Bruce Wayne is the mask, like Batman's like the actual in character that you're playing. But there is a lot to be said about the way that she's influenced the character of Batgirl back, because, like, for example, the Bat cycle that I showed you guys here. So like this whole bat cycle, she actually drove motorcycles. Like how cool of a girl was that? And so because of that, it's like they crafted the whole bat cycle around it. They made a custom one out of like a Yamaha, and so um, that feeds back into it because like even if you play Gotham Knights now, you like just know about like the bat cycle. Like Batgirl has the bat cycle, right? So I she helped to influence that because she was able to do her own stunts as it came to things like that. And also, I don't know where it is here. Is it up here? Oh yes, enticing walk. Yes. The ballet dancer's duck waddle. So she's got like a bat walk? Enticing walk. Yes. She gonna transform? Secret Batgirl room. Nice. Oh my gosh. I love this outfit. Oh my gosh, I feel like she's wearing like a little corset under there. But that outfit's amazing. I I used to love this show. Oh my gosh. Oof, like who's that girl? That's Batgirl. Missing Batgirl Oh, she's a pretty girl. So like her way, like fluidity of movement. So she brought that to that character, right? And yeah. Oh my gosh, Yvonne Craig, you're so cool. So she actually passed. Let's see if I have time. Okay, I'll wrap this up in 5 minutes. We'll do a quick little reading of her death chart. Oh man. Oh, well, actually, let's look at some aspects first. Actually, and then I'll put a little bookmark on this, and we'll pick this up later. And I'll talk about maybe death charts in more detail, like what I mean by death chart, because oftentimes you'll like just look online and they'll be like, oh, are there markers in my birth chart as to when I will die? I'm like, that is not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at if there are like gates or like there's a reason why, you know, certain souls are called onto the next realm, and it can provide a lot of peace and understanding when you can craft some meaning or gain some understanding from the stars as to when a being left the realm, right? So as far as her other aspects here, let me see here. You can see here with like the degrees when you're talking about aspects. These are you see here the angles that are made between the planets, and these, it's cool though because like no matter even if like the planets themselves, all their very specific placements, like we share a couple of things, me and you, girl, Yvonne, like the Taurus here, the Sun in Taurus, the Venus being in Aries. I have that same matchup of Taurus and Aries for my Sun and Venus. And if you catch my girlfriend Sasha Rose when she talks about syncing with Venus, for all of us women, like looking at where your Venus is placed, gives you some understanding. So I'm 6 degrees Aries. So regardless, so there's flavors. This is a fire element, having Venus in a fire sign. All of this provides understanding into this character. So she was said of being like really bubbly and sparkly, and then this idea of even like riding the motorcycle, I was telling you guys, like loving the thrill of life, and then also expressing with her body. The Mercury in Taurus here, I think, is that as well. It comes through in that. I feel that way having Mercury in other placements as well, like anything that has that physicality as a way of communicating body language as well. Even your costume, all of that, the Leo, she brings that to life. Mars being in Scorpio, the purple putting on Batgirl, and then bringing that like sassy sexiness to it. That's some like Scorpio fiery vibes, right? Because the ancient ruler of Scorpio is Mars, right? Before Pluto was discovered. So that's where I'm gonna leave things for now in terms of Yvonne Craig's birth chart. May 16th, 1937, making her a Taurus, a fellow Taurus friend. I didn't even know that, so that is very cool for me right now, just to know that. But her moon's in Leo, right? So something else to keep in mind being that we are in Leo season, and this idea of your solar plexus, the sun, your soul force, following what that is, and then being able to step on the stage of light, claim the spotlight when you're ready for it. I feel like that's the message of what I'm getting from you, Miss Yvonne. So thank you so much for all your contributions to the character of Batgirl, because she fed into that character, and the character, she lives on immortally because of that. I feel like she'll always be like when people think of Barbara Gordon, I think they commonly think of that image. And you can see even in Oracle version of Batgirl, like that's still Barbara Gordon, right? Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. So I also vibe a lot with Batgirl because my dad's a prof in computer science, so I grew up with a lot of computers, and that whole idea of like master hacker and being intel for all the heroes. Yeah, I'm here for you guys. So that's a topic for another time. I'm just gonna bring this back to my other screen. So thank you guys for joining me for this live recording of Neurolinguistic Astrology Salon, and we basically go through characters, events. Everything has an astrology, which is like a marker in time space as to where you are in the story, in the game of life. And so this is all just a way for you to look at your own chart, right? Find out where you have commonalities with some of these characters, and then realize why you maybe vibe with some of these characters, because there is a resonance there. There is something there that holds a clue for you in how you are working your way through and finding your way to being empowered and uncovering your whole soul's journey through this hero's journey through everything as it comes to right now. There's a lot of dream stuff happening. There's a lot of like frequencies coming through, so it's good to ground into yourself and remember what's truly important. And it's always good to go back to what's pure and good in you and the stories that really nourish you and bring you inspiration as you work through things. So I'll catch you all in the comic book read in just a moment. I have to do my whole makeup and all that kind of stuff, but I'll catch you all then. And then until next time, my friends, stay super